2015 to 25-year long-term plan, decided to invest $8 million into the CBD streetscape and also the waterfront development. And so this is $3.2 million worth of that $8 million. And I think it's an investment well worth making for the development and the vibrancy of the CBD.
The project at the moment really consists of two key components. The new pier, which is for viewing. It provides access from the water via a new pontoon, and includes a jump platform or a dive platform, which will hopefully attract and enable people to swim and engage with the water in a direct way. And then the second component is the tidal stairs, which is the way we propose to kind of transition from the existing water's edge promenade down to the water itself.
So when we developed the design, we didn't want to just have some plain concrete steps. We wanted to make sure that there was some added vibrancy to the project, and so we've utilised two New Zealand artists, one to etch and to paint along the steps, and the other one to add some LED lighting, which is going to be able to be changed as the mood dictates.
It seemed like a really bold thing for Tauranga Council to do, to go, oh yeah, we want to get people to the water. It's going to be called access to, like that was, they really made it really clear, access to water, proposals are sought to get people to come here, to the water. Because it was a really interesting thing. And then walking along here, you realise why it's not really the draw, there's not the pull from, and it's so close to the city.
It's really important that the public can access art rather than necessarily just going to an art gallery, for example. The fact that it's right here on the waterfront is going to be very accessible to everyone.
It sort of collides people with art that they wouldn't normally collide with. Even that they will see this, someone will think, oh, they'll just ask, is that art? And it's kind of a nice thing because it's also in their lives. It'll become every day, especially people who walk past and bike past. It'll become really normal, and I really like that art might become normal for them, and it's just this everyday thing, so it doesn't become scary.
What we really think would happen is that we get something that's sort of integrated and kind of built into the project, something that resonates with Tauranga's sense of place, and perhaps something that tells some of the kind of key stories and heritage and narratives that would reinforce an understanding of and sort of amplification of the idea of what Tauranga's urban waterfront is all about.
So when we got down to the shortlist, there were two projects that really stood out, and in fact we couldn't decide between the two, and so both of them were selected because they both contribute very different things. We wanted something that really spoke to the project and to the site and to Tauranga in a way that wasn't just going to clutter it up. And so these two works do that in very beautiful and very different ways. Elliot's work, the text that's carved into the stairs, is not immediately visual. It's actually part of the experience of the stairs, so you actually have to get onto the stairs, you need to get into the water, you need to look back at Tauranga, and then the work sort of reveals itself to you. And that's a daytime experience, by and large. And then the other work by Marcus is a light work, so during the day it's invisible, and at night when all the other visual experience of the place dies down with the light, then his work comes into play. So they complement each other beautifully, we thought, and they're also so beautifully integrated into the new landscape design and the new experience of accessing the water, which is what this project is all about.
The space where the land meets the sea is the most transitional space we ever normally get in our experience, and it's when two different environments that are totally alien like that meet, they kind of throw up different things and affect each other a lot. So Wash is actually a lighting and sound installation that's driven entirely by waves and by the tide, and what it does is it takes the movement of the sea and detects it, and then translates that into light and sound that moves along the pier and washes into the city. And on quiet nights when it's quite calm, it'll be a very small, quiet, sort of like low energy, quite ambient feeling installation. And on other nights when there's storms or a lot of wind and there's a big surge or a chop or there's really high tide, it'll be a great big surges of light and sound passing along the pier into the city.
So the work of contemporary artist Elliot Collins is a text work that has been carved into the tidal stairs, and it's in two parts. The first part is he has been allowed to use an ancient karakia, and this has been gifted to him by the kaumātua of this place. And that karakia tells the story of the creation of Tauranga, and it is a sacred and very beautiful piece of writing from the past. And the text that he has written, which is in English and in colour, really tells about the experience of Tauranga today, paying tribute to that very beautiful text from the past.
I think it was important that the karakia was under my care for while I was using it. I think it was really important and really gracious of Piri to kind of okay it. And he said, and I guess I was explaining to him as well, even about the steps, and I was like, oh, you know, they're going to be forever and it's permanent. And he just sort of looked at me very kindly and said, oh, nothing's forever. And I was like, oh, that's some wisdom. So I'm like, I'm going to just listen to this man and just go with whatever he says. So his input into the project has been kind of incredible and valuable. I like that it's funny to think a submerged artwork. I mean, we had discussions with the designers, oh, should we took the top 3 steps so people can see it all? And I said, no, it's going to be a long term, you have to come back. So although I'm being, hopefully it's generous, that it's just there and bright and easy to read, but there will be things like at high tide you won't be able to read all of it. And so it's quite cool because people will come back here again and again and get used to it, and yeah, hopefully they may memorise it. Imagine that, really good. Yeah.
Up until now, on the Tauranga waterfront, all you could do is just look at the beautiful harbour. You haven't been able to access it. So now with these steps, we can actually we can touch the harbour, people will be able to go swimming. I'm looking forward to bombing off the bombing platform. That will be a bit of fun. And just generally enjoying the harbour to a much greater degree than we are able to at the moment.
When the Harry McCleary sculptures were unveiled, which was 2 years ago in July, we directly benefited from, you know, as our business with the cafe, we directly benefited from people coming to see the sculptures, exploring the city centre further and finding our cafe. The excitement with the children, it was quite unbelievable. Even overseas visitors were really excited with the sculptures. I believe that the same thing's going to happen with the waterfront project that they're doing. Why would people not want to come down here?
And I'm expecting a lot of people, it will be a real attraction in its own right, and then that added to other amenities that we have in the CBD will make Tauranga City just a really great place to be and to visit. It's my pleasure to just say a few words, and I will keep them brief. I'll skip through some of these things, but look, first of all, this is a magnificent occasion, I believe, for Tauranga. When you look out at the extent of these tidal stairs, the amazing pier that we're standing on and the pontoon, I think this is really going to transform Tauranga City. I also want to acknowledge Ngāi Tamarawaho and Ngāti Tapu, who assisted us in the development of, particularly of the artwork, so that we're cherishing our history, both Māori history, and also we have a wonderful poem there which celebrates our Pākehā history as well. Later on this morning, a few of us elected members are going to have a little bomb off here, so that'll be a bit of fun. 1, 2, 3, yeah! Way! That was fun. That was a lot of fun, I have to say, and I'll tell you what, that it's very refreshing, but it's a great way to connect to the water, and this is going to be fantastic for Tauranga City. 1, 2, 3, go! Very excited, I feel really pumped actually, and I'm sure everyone who does that is going to get the same feeling. So awesome, make sure you come down and give it a go.